So all these plants will have adaptations to fire, ways to deal with fire and ways to recruit with fire. A lot of plants actually need fire to recruit. Animals will use the fresh recruitment after fire of different plants as food sources. So this is a great example of the different fire histories and the patchwork of fire histories throughout the landscape. On these slopes over here, there's some fairly younger stuff, maybe 3 or 4 years since burnt. Then down on the flats here, you have some older spinifex, which could be maybe 8 to 10 years. It gives the park a chance to kind of fight its own wildfire through having this patchwork of fire mosaics throughout the landscape. All the fires that occur out here, prescribed and wildfires, are mapped from satellite imagery via the remote sensing team. It tells us that 8 years ago this area was burnt. We'll fly the drone over this area and that'll give us an indication of spinifex cover, which will give us an idea of habitat. We'll place the acoustic recorder in the camera trap to see the fauna in the area, and then we'll run a 100-metre transact from there, so 50 metres this end and 50 metres the other end of the camera, and then we'll set up 3 15 by 15 metre quadrats to survey vegetation. Generally what we're finding is when an area has been more recently burnt, diversity will be higher because there are a lot of flora species that come up straight after fire. Ecology doesn't work in weeks and months. The longer the data set that you can collect, more robust the research is. It's important to know if there is too much fire, conversely, and then these plants aren't getting enough time to actually mature and set seed again. Oh, it's natural, it's always happened. All these plants and animals, I'd say, also have adapted to fire in the landscape, so it's always been part of their evolution. It's important to kind of try and work out how to get back to the most natural way to do it.